Yo, Divine Sense Boxing back in the building. I'm back, man. If you guys joined me earlier today, I'm back at it, man. Look, I came across an interview by Seconds Out. First, I watched the interview that he had with George Kambosos, and very solid interview. George was basically saying, like, look, I dissected this guy. I beat him up mentally before the fight even happened, leading up to it, the weigh-ins, the press conferences, and then when we got in the ring, I beat him up again. Radio Raheem asked him his thoughts about, Teofimo Lopez Jr. and Sr. saying that they thought they won the fight, and his response was just like, look, man, just delusional. Just straight up delusional. And I support him 100% when it comes to him saying, like, look, man, I earned this the hard way. I had to come over here in New York, in your backyard. I had to bring it to you, and I had to take the belts from the champ, and I did that. So now I'm going to go back to Australia, and anybody who wants to get it, they can come over to see me. And I think that's fair play. Fair play, 100%. But look, after I heard that interview, then I was scrolling around, and Seconds Out had another video out where he was interviewing Teofimo Lopez Sr. Hence the title of the live stream. Y'all saw it in the thumbnail. This guy's running around talking about they got robbed. In one breath, talking about, oh, this doesn't hurt us. This only makes us better. We ain't worried about it. And then in the next breath, we got lost. It's an atrocious decision. I can't believe they did this to us, etc., etc. So I got the audio here, man. I'm going to play it. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give you guys my reaction to this clownish behavior. And if y'all were listening earlier today when I was talking about this father-son relationship, this father-son coach-trainer relationship that's going on, man, I believe that it's detrimental to Lopez Jr.'s career. I'm being dead serious, man. I'm not even trying to hate on the father-son thing or nothing like that. But I'm being dead-ass serious. Dead-ass serious. It's looking bad. It's looking real bad. Omega Red, first one in the building. A lot of times he's one of the first ones, always tapping into the live. Big shout out to Omega Red. We got Dwan Freeman in the building. We got the troll killer, Mr. Shelton. What's good, man? He's out here trolling early, talking about T.O. whoop that boy. Come on, man. Come on, bro. We got Trick Boxing in the building, man, an official member of the channel. I appreciate you. And we about to get into this audio, man. But I just, like I said, I wanted to just kind of give you guys a bit of a prelude and why I decided to make this video. I hit on a lot of points earlier today about this, right? And I was like, I don't need to beat this dead horse. But after hearing the interview, it's like, I got to share my reaction with you guys. I have to. This shit's unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. Forgive me, I drink a lot of coffee, man. It's morning for me, so I have to wash down that coffee. So there's the interview right here. I'm gonna play it. I'm just gonna play the audio, man, because this second's out, dude, man. He's came after me before for playing some of his content. So I'm gonna play the audio in the background, and then I'm gonna give you guys my reaction to what this guy is saying in this interview. It's just mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing, and I'm literally just like shaking my head the entire time. I also got a poll in the chat. Let me know what you think, man, because sometimes I think, because I have a scorecards a certain way, and everybody scores the fight a little bit differently. So I'm curious, how did you score it? Did you score it Kambosos winning by 2 rounds, by at least 2 rounds, or more than 4 rounds? Did you have it a draw, or did you have it Lopez winning by two or more rounds? Right? So vote in the poll. Let me know how you guys scored it. I believe that I scored it 114 to 112, which means after the 10th round and the knockdowns, right? There's a 10-8 round. It was a draw for me at that point. It was a draw. And for me, Kambosos came in the 11th and 12th round and closed the deal. That's it. And that's why I had it 114, 112. And by the way, we got 30 people in here. How we don't have 30 likes is beyond me. Get the likes all the way up. You guys know the drill. Get them up there because, I don't have to go through this reaction, man. I'm trying to put out this work. So make sure that you guys get those likes up. Let the people know we're in here. It's free. It's free. Mangus Allen in the building. What's good, bro? Thanks for dropping by. On that note, my man Mangus Allen has been a part of the channel, supporting it for a long time now. Congratulations, sir. You have now been rinsed up. Yeah, we got 40 people in here and only 10 likes. This shit's crazy, man. This shit's crazy out here. That's how they be doing me. But anyways, man, look, I'm not gonna make this a long live stream. I'm gonna get straight to it. I'm gonna play this audio in the background. Y'all can hear it for yourself in case you haven't heard it yet. All right, so shout out to Seconds Out and Radio Raheem for doing this interview. And like I said, man, you're all gonna hear it for yourself. Jay Smooth in the building was good. All right, I'm gonna put it in the background, and here we go.
Lopez Sr., I know as a trainer and a father, it's always tough to watch your son take a loss, especially his first loss. How did you feel in the corner when that decision was read, a split decision for Kambosos?
Man, listen, man, you saw me in every round jumping up and down and telling my son, you got that, you got that, you got that, you got that. You can't win a fight if you're not staying busy. My son was touching him every second. It's just the way it is, man. You know what I'm saying? He was coming up too fast, too strong, making a lot of noise, and things happen, you know what I'm saying? Things happen, But we
See, he kind of put his own foot in his own mouth by saying, Oh, y'all saw me, right? In between rounds, I was jumping up and down and telling him he's doing a great job. And I'm telling you, got this, you got this. What? Is this dude on a different planet or what? For real. So because you're hooting and hollering and jumping around telling your son that you got this, then that makes it gold. That, like, bro, you set your son up for failure, man. What are you talking about? And then he's gonna go on here in the interview and say, "Oh, he said, oh, he was touching him up and he was putting all the work in. He had the better output and this and that. We were aggressive." See, here they go with that whole aggressive narrative again, which is an extreme, like, pet peeve for me personally. Anytime they get into this whole, "Oh, I was the aggressor." But before I continue this interview, I want to remind people, you got to go back and watch the fight. Don't take my word for it. You got to go back and watch the fight. You got to go back and watch the fight, because for every punch that Lopez threw, Kambosos was landing 3 or 4 punches. Pretty much the whole fight. Now, you can say Lopez landed a big power shot and that equals 3 shots from Kambosos. That's fine if that's how you like to score fights. 1 power punch equals 3 punches. I mean, I don't know. That's up to you. But you can't claim that you outworked him. You can't claim that you outpunched him. You can't claim that you even threw more punches. And there might even be a case that you didn't even throw more power punches. I haven't even looked at the CompuBox numbers yet. All right, but I'm just saying. Cono Loco Sports in the building. DJ Zeon Love, man, shout out to you. You called this fight, bro. You came on my show saying that Kambosos is going to pull this off, and I got to give you your recognition. The real Ricky Tan, what's good, man? Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. I don't understand how we got 80 plus people in here and only 20 likes. That's almost insanity, but I'll keep going.
Noise and was touching him every second. It's just the way it is, man. You know what I'm saying? He was coming up too fast, too strong, making a lot of noise, and things happen, you know what I'm saying? Things happen, but we strong. We got the people's, he's the people's champ. So we're gonna be selling out arenas. This didn't hurt us at all, man. It just made us better. You know what I'm saying? The whole world knows about this. The whole world's gonna be talking about this for weeks.
Do you feel like the layoff, continuing to push the fight, had anything to do with that?
Don't talk to me like that. Everybody knows he won it.
He said, "Hey, do you think the layoff affected the fight?" I mean, let's be honest here. The fight was announced in like January or February of this year, right? And then we're in the end of November, right? Radio Raheem has the right to ask that question. This fight has been like underway basically for 10 to 11 months. And this guy said, "Oh, come on, man. Don't talk to me like this." And that's a fair question, though. That's a straight up, you had this man waiting. You had Kambosos waiting. You thought that extended amount of time would somehow benefit you, and what? Kambosos would then just lose his motivation to fight because he had to wait so long? Shit, well, you thought wrong.
About this. The whole world's going to be talking about this for weeks.
Do you feel like the layoff, continuing to push the fight, had anything to do with that?
Don't talk to me like that, man. Everybody knows he won it. He won that fight. Everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody knows he won the fight. Everybody knows. Who's everybody? Who's everybody? there might be some guys, like we got 100 people in the chat right now and only 25 likes. So that tells me that, yeah, 105 people in here and 24 likes. So that just tells me that there are some people out there that thought that Teofimo won the fight. They just don't have the courage to comment because they know what time it is. So I guess, Teofimo Lopez Sr., he's saying, a lot. He said everyone, right? He said everyone knows. Well, I guess there's a fair amount of people because they be coming over here to Divine Sense Boxing and not clicking the goddamn like button because they think that Teofimo Lopez Jr. won the fight. So I guess there are people out there. But sure as hell ain't everybody. And you know how I know that? Because we got people voting in the poll right now saying Lopez won by at least 2 rounds. Y'all smoking that good crack. But this guy's talking about, hey, everybody knows we won. Everybody knows we won the fight. Everybody. But real talk, man, all jokes aside, who's everybody? What, you and your little circle? Or some fans in the Madison Square Garden that are upset? Who's everybody? I haven't seen, as I look through Twitter, I haven't seen any boxing journalists, boxing analysis. I haven't seen a coach, a fighter, anyone saying that they thought Teofimo Lopez won the fight. And if I missed something, y'all let me know in the chat. I haven't seen anything. I saw a lot of people saying it was a close fight. But for the most part, it was a close fight, but Kambosos deserved to win. That's what I've been seeing on social media. So I don't know what this dude is smoking, but he's smoking it real good.
9-3, he won that fight. Everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? I had it 10-2, 9-3. You know, everybody was just upset. They booed the
10-2, 9-3. 10-2, 9-3. That's it? Well, let me put it into perspective. You already know that your son lost the first round, right? Now, hey, everybody buckle your seatbelts because he's going to talk about the knockdown, by the way. This guy's going to start pulling excuses out of his ass about the knockdown. Just wait for it. But, check it. You know that he lost the first round, right? Which means he goes down. He loses basically 2 points on the scorecard. That's a 10-8 round, right? So when you say 10-2, then that means that you're down by 3 points, right? So you know you lost the first round. You can't deny that because your son was put on his ass. So from the second round all the way to the 12th round, what's the other round you give him? He probably doesn't even know. Radio Raheem, right? I have my opinions about him, and it goes back to his interviews with Wilder and all that shit, man. I can get into that. Putting that to the side, I think Radio Raheem is a decent reporter. He's decent. Like, I have my beefs with him, but he tries to be insightful, and he tries to be fair and non-biased. But one thing that I've noticed about Radio Raheem is that he's scared to ruffle feathers. He doesn't want to step on anybody's toes. And that shit irritates me, man. And that's why I can never be a journalist. That's why I never can be a reporter. This is why Divine Sense Boxing can't go to these fights and report people off. Because you know what I would ask, Senior? Real talk. I would have said, oh, you had 10-2? Okay. What rounds did you give him then? What round did you give Kambosos then? And watch this guy stutter and fumble around. Well, we know he won the first round because he got put on his ass. What's the other round you gave him then? He don't even know. Because he's so blinded by the shine and the glorious moment of his son having all those belts. The shine is still gleaming in his eyeballs off of all those belts that his son once had. once had. Fire emoji in the chat. You're blinded by your son's one. You're blinded by your son's one-time glory. Short-lived glory. Better way to put it. Short-lived glory. Still blinded by it. So it just blows my mind. And I'm being 100% honest with you guys. This is exactly why. And I've had a lot of people email me, hit me up on social media saying, yo, Divine, why don't you be a reporter and go down and interview these fighters? I think you do a great job. We need you in the sport. And I've considered it. But my problem is that my blood boils too quick. And I don't have a problem asking real questions. And when I hear these reporters ask questions, I already know what I'm going to be asking. Straight up. Oh, you won 10-2. That's cool, man. Can you let the people know what rounds that was that you thought your son lost? I promise you. But instead, Radio Raheem, he's like, oh, that's how you felt. Okay, yeah, well, your son did do a good job. Stop that, Radio Raheem. Stop that. Stop that. You saw the fight, Radio Raheem. We know you're smarter than that, bro. We know you're smarter than that. You've been around covering the sport. You know Teofimo Lopez got his ass whooped. And if you don't want to take it that far, you know he lost. That's what it comes down to. Ass whooped, that's a matter of opinion. But you know he lost, though. Let me get back to the interview, man, because I can rant I can rant. This guy, man, 10-2.
Everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? I had it 10-2, 9-3.
This guy.
Everybody was just upset.
10-2.
They booed the decision in the Madison Square Garden. So we just gotta keep on living and do big fights and selling out arenas like we did tonight. And we sold out the Madison Square Garden on vaccination time. You know what I'm saying? Where you gotta be vaccinated to get inside.
Listen, you sold out the Madison Square Garden. Congratulations. But your son's from New York, bro. Like if you can't sell out the Madison Square Garden, that's a problem. I bet you Zab Judah can come out of retirement and get a decent crowd out of Madison Square Garden. The dude's from Brooklyn. So what are you patting yourself on the back for? You're supposed to sell it out. I don't want to hear none of that shit. If you went down to South Carolina or Cali or somewhere in the Midwest and you sold out an arena, I'd be like, all right, cool. But you fighting in New York. Your son's from New York. What did you expect? But I tell you what, though, there were at least 5,000 Aussie fans in there, if not at least a couple thousand. There were a lot of Aussie fans in there cheering on Kambosos. So it's not like you had 15,000 hardcore, Teofimo Lopez supporters in there, because there were definitely some fans from Australia up in there. And in regards to the booing, he's like, oh, the whole building, the whole arena was booing the decision. Nah, they're booing your son for saying dumb shit.
On vaccination time, you know what I'm saying? Where you gotta be vaccinated to get inside. So at the end of the night, the whole arena was upset at what happened.
Goddess in the building. What's good?
And I don't blame myself.
Deanna Branch up in here too. Bruce Goes. What's good?
Years at 135.
Eric R.
And
salute to you.
It's time to move up. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go up to the 140. And this bullshit loss, because it's a bullshit loss, and I should have never fought with the zone.
Oh my God.
I should have stood with
now it's the zone's fault. He was weight drained. he's going to talk about, oh, he slipped. Oh, the judges are against us. The referee was against us because the referee raised our hand first. Oh my God! I don't think I've ever heard this amount of excuses. This is just, oh man, my God! I'm just.
You know what I'm saying? It's
I ain't
time
got
to
the
go
words.
up to the 140, and this bullshit laws, because it's a bullshit laws, and I should have never fought with the zone. I should have stood with Top Rank, because those are the people that really love us, and I learn. You learn from your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So we go back with Top Rank, and
So he's saying the zone was a mistake. Now you're going to go back to Top Rank. Like Top Rank ain't out there pulling bullshit daily. Y'all saw what Top Rank did to Bud Crawford, right? Y'all heard what Bud Crawford said about Bob Arum, basically to Bob Arum's face after he stopped Porter. He said, Bob ain't doing shit for my career. He ain't giving me the fights that I want to get and that I deserve. So peace out, Bob. Good riddance. And he's talking about, oh, DAZN this and DAZN that, so we're going to go with Top Rank. Top Rank? Oh, yeah, you're right. Top Rank will protect you. So you go to Top Rank, you ain't got to worry about no Devin Haney. You ain't got to worry about none of that. So, okay, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. You go to the protection. Okay. Just call it what it is, Lopez Sr. Just call it what it is.
Go back with Top Rank and 2 pay-per-view fights next year, and then an ESPN fight. I mean, everybody know what happened. Okay.
When you say 2 fights next year, do you intend to rematch and have Lopez an opportunity to reclaim these titles?
No rematch, man. My mistake was leaving my son at 135 so long. You know what I'm saying? Because in this game, you gotta knock everybody out. If you don't knock them out, this is what happens. You know. So
here comes the 135. I left him at 135 too long. It's my fault. And so once again, you continue to prove that you are not a positive influence in the way that you think for your son, bro. This is the shit that is nails on a chalkboard for me. You continue to expose yourself. Oh, it's my mistake this, it's my mistake that. I wanted my son to do this, and this is what happened. And, oh, I told my son the only way he can win is if he knocks the dude out. That is not true. Yeah, that's more of a guarantee, or it is the only guarantee if you knock the dude out. But that ain't true. So that means you've been fooling your son's head full of shit since the day he entered the pros. The dude got outboxed. Your son got outboxed, man. These people out here, I'm saying these people, we got 116 people. So when I say these people, this is what I'm talking about. We got 116 people listening to the live stream, and I only got 37 likes on the video. So when I say these people, that's what I'm talking. That's who I'm talking to right now. These people act as if Kambosos came in there throwing a bunch of wild ass punches, had no technique. He landed something, that caught Lopez in the first round. It was a lucky shot, and the rest of the fight he didn't do shit, and he was just a sloppy, tough guy. That's what these people be talking like. That's how people. This is literally the people that think Teofimo Lopez got robbed. This is what they think. But you know what is funny? This guy didn't. I'm talking about Kambosos. This guy didn't even. He didn't just come out there and show grit and toughness and determination and discipline and fitness. But he showed boxing skill, doubling up, tripling up with the left hand, straight right hand down the pipe, straight right hand down to the body, looping right hands, countering, landing 3 or 4 shots to Lopez's every one power shot. Lopez had the right hand cocked, trying to land the right hand all night long. Sometimes he landed it, and when he did land it, he couldn't hurt Kambosos. This dude was demoralized, man. By the time they got to the championship rounds, he was demoralized. He said, man, I hit this guy with everything but the kitchen sink, and he's not going down. And when he did go down in the 10th round, the dude got up and he came back and punched me in the face. So explain it to me. Known worldwide, what's good? He says, bro, they fought in the Hulu Theater in the Garden, which has a max capacity of 5,600. You do not sell out the Garden. His pops is a joke. Hey, known worldwide, man. Thanks for correcting Lopez Sr. here and correcting myself. I mean, see, this is what happens, right? You start regurgitating some of this shit that these people be talking about, and you make yourself look dumb. See, this is why it lowers my IQ. Every time I listen to these people spewing out this BS, this guy literally said, y'all heard it. He said, we sold out the Madison Square Garden, which has a max capacity of what, like 15,000? My man, known worldwide, just came out and said he didn't sell out no damn Madison Square Garden. See? And you got the Teofimo Lopez fans, they're going crazy, talking about, oh yeah, he's a people's champ, this, that, and the third. Hey, known worldwide, man. I appreciate you for coming in and correcting this clownish talk. And for all the people listening in, punching air, I hope you are too. All you Lopez fans, I hope you are punching air too, because there's like 50 of you in here right now. Omega Red, exactly. Listening to idiots will have you second guessing yourself. I'm telling you, that's what happens. Let me get back to this interview, man. I'm trying to finish this, man, but it's hard. It's hard, bro. Like, I guess I could have just played the video through once and then give my commentary, bro. But I can't, man. I can't keep my mouth shut when this dumb shit comes out of this man's mouth. And I've been telling you guys, leading up to the fight, the press conference, the weigh-in, and all this stuff, man, this guy has been irritating me beyond belief with the dumb shit that's been coming out of his mouth. And this is literally the cherry on the top, man, of his clownish, idiotic, arrogant behavior. Teofimo Lopez Jr., if you're listening to this, man, like, I know I've been talking a lot of shit about your dad, bro. You're probably upset. Maybe you're going to try to find me and try to, I don't know, man. But look, man, honestly, it's out of love, man, because my dad was like this, and he nearly ruined my career in athletics, sports, and it's something that I'm doing now where I've had a lot of success in. And if it wasn't for me leaving my dad, I don't know where I'd be at. I'd probably be losing my mind, working a 9-to-5 somewhere because I listened to my dad too much. And it doesn't mean I lost respect for my dad. It doesn't mean that I lost love for my dad. It means that my dad needed to stop living through me. And it was the best decision I ever made, was to step away from my dad and do my own thing. And when you go out and you're successful on your own accord, by your own actions and your own decisions, your dad will come back around. He'll be upset for a while. He'll be upset. He'll get over it, though. Blood's thicker than water. He'll get over it. And he'll come around and he'll say, you know what, son? I'm proud of you. You did it without me. And if your dad's nice, you can let him back in your corner like Floyd Mayweather let his dad back in after all those years dominating the sport of boxing with Roger Mayweather and not his dad. So, is what it is.
My son at 135 so long, you know what I'm saying? Because in this game, you got to knock everybody out. If you don't knock them out, this is what happens, you know. It was a complete robbery. We dictated the fight from the beginning aggressively,
get the damn likes
taking
up.
all those points. Everybody in the world knows what happened. Everybody's saying that he won 9-3, 10-2. You know what I'm saying? The whole arena saw it, and it was just disgusting. You know, I could not believe what they just did to us. But you know what? They just stained us.
Well, looking forward, But looking forward, where does Lopez go? If not at 135,
we're gonna go up to 140. Get a fight in February, and then fight Josh Taylor in the springtime. We're still gonna do what we said we was gonna do. This doesn't change.
So he's going to go to 140, get a fight in February. Hopefully that eye heals up by then. I mean, real talk though, no, all jokes aside, man, his eye was busted up, man. He was leaking. Yo, your son was leaking in there. And I don't know if 3 months, barely 3 months, actually not even that. It's basically 2 months. I don't know if 2 months is enough for that eye to heal up. You're going to have some serious scar tissue. This guy's stupid, man. I said it. God damn it. I try not to use that type of language, man. But yeah, drink some water, man, because, I try to refrain myself from using words like that. But I'm sorry. I've reached my limit. Be back in February. And then you're going to fight Josh Taylor? You going to fight Josh Taylor in the springtime? So the whole Devin Haney thing, let me get this right. Let me get this correct real quick. Let me understand this right. So you're telling me that all of that shit that you were talking, you and your son, to Devin Haney and Devin Haney's dad. We remember that, right? That little encounter y'all had, and you guys are up there ranting and raving, hooting and hollering, and we're the best, and we ain't ducking you because we're the best, and we got all the belts, and you ain't shit. We remember that, right? So all of that was for nothing. All that was bark and no bite. Because your ass got beat up against Kambosos, a guy who you thought, and let's be real here, the reason why you lost the fight is because you thought it was going to be an easy fight. You thought that Kambosos would lay down. You thought that you would hurt him early and you would stop him. And you underestimated the man, and you found your ass in deep waters. That's exactly what happened. So now, what that tells me is that, hey, you were all cap. Nothing but cap when it came to Devin Haney. So now you're going to move up to 140 and fight Josh Taylor? Look at what Kambosos did to you. What do you think Josh Taylor's going to do to you? This is chess, man, not checkers. Now they know. Hey, Kambosos exposed you. He exposed you. Not only did he beat you, he exposed you. You're a right-handed fighter. You are a right-handed fighter. And you rely on your power. So guess what you got to do to Lopez now? Anybody that's planning to fight. If Haney's going to fight if Haney's going to fight Teofimo Lopez, what? All he got to do is box. That's all he got to do. Box and hand speed. Box, hand speed, and control distance, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But you know what? You're gonna mess around with Josh Taylor. He'll stop your ass. Not only will he outbox you, he'll stop you. Straight up, because now you've been figured out. Before, you were knocking dudes down early, and see, that's what happens, right? That's what happens with guys who got all this power. That's what happens. They get all these knockouts, and then they gotta go 12. As soon as you go 12, they get exposed, and especially when they get dropped themselves and they lose. They know this, though. They know this deep down in their soul. They've got a lot of soul searching to do. When I say I shouldn't even say they. I should say Teofimo Lopez Jr. You got a lot of soul searching to do, bro. And the first step is you got to tell Dad, hey, Dad, it's been a great run. It's been a great run. I appreciate all the hard work, but it's time for me to move on and do my own thing.
Anything, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in judge decisions because they could be compromised the same way they compromised us in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Everything could be bought. You know, that's why I teach my boy, you got to take them out. If you don't take them out, they could touch us. They could do something to us.
Okay, you keep preaching that you gotta knock them out to win. You gotta knock them out to win. You gotta knock them out to win. Okay, but that worked against you in the Kambosos fight. And instead of being a real man and saying Kambosos was the better man, you saying you got robbed, you won the fight 10-2, which is even more egregious and disturbing. Like that's the word. It's disturbing. It's very disturbing. I'm seriously concerned for this man's mental welfare. Seriously. 10-2. I am seriously and genuinely concerned for this man's mental welfare. Either he's up on that good, you guys know what I'm talking about, or he's seriously got some mental issues. But if you want to keep preaching this idea that you got to knock dudes out, so what's your excuse when you go to 140 then and you get outboxed? What are you going to say then? You're complaining about 135, so 140, what, you can't get outboxed at 140?
You know, I'm happy. He's happy. We all happy. You know why? Because he's the people's champ.
No matter how a loss comes, once it's read out and it's official, your son comes back to the corner, what's the first thing you say to him?
It doesn't matter what I'm going to say to him. I think he did a great job tonight. Every round, I was happy. I was motivated.
See? There's nothing I have to say to him. He did a great job. He won the fight. Lopez Jr. seriously needs somebody to put their arm around his shoulder, pull him to the side, hopefully a family member, because if it's somebody from the outside of his circle, he ain't going to listen. He ain't going to let people talk bad about his dad. But he needs somebody to put their arm around his shoulder, pull him off to the side, and say, look, man, I think it's time you make a tough decision. Because this right here, this isn't good, man. You got nothing to say to your son? Your son is busted up, man. Why are you trying to look at your son like that? Your son he's got to go back home to his own son, to his own family. And you're partly to blame for this because of you trying to live in your son's shadow and building up the fight the way you built it up, gassing your son up, gassing up false bravado is what you did. Kambosos came in there and practiced what he preached. He was confident. He believed in himself. You forced your son to believe something that wasn't really reality, which is why he didn't have a plan B. So he comes in there and gets his face battered in. So I'm thinking, I'm a father myself, right? I don't have a son. I have a daughter, but father. To decide after a fight like that. Well, first off, I wouldn't let if my daughter were to fight, I would never let her, like, she's getting beat up, her face getting all busted up. Am I going to say, hey, you're doing a great job. Yeah, keep it up. Great job. Just keep doing what you're doing. Oh, you won that round. Yep, you won that round too. Don't worry about that cut. We're just going to lean up in there like you're Rocky Balboa, and you'll be good to go. Right? Hell no. So that's the first thing. I'm not going to do that. Secondly, when the fight's over, I'm going to pull my child off to the side, and I'm going to speak that truth into him. There's a lot of stuff that we need to work on. We got exposed in this area and that area, and we got to go back to the drawing board. We got to get better. And this man out here saying, oh, I got nothing to say to my son, man. He did a fantastic job. We won this fight. And your son out there, and he's probably in the hospital while his dad's talking, by the way, getting brain scans and shit. eye all busted up, and you're talking about you're going to throw your son back in there in February? What are you doing to your son, man? What are you doing to him? But you know what? Teofimo Lopez Jr. is partially to blame. He ain't a kid no more. He a grown-ass man. He needs to stand up to his dad. He needs to stand up to his dad. But like I said, somebody needs to come over, put their arm around, and say, look, man, you G2, he's not leading you in the right direction. You need to step away. Because now, somebody was saying in the chat, I forgot who said it, but there's levels to this, man. There's levels to this. And you don't want to be this guy. This guy, he was pretty good one time, won all the belts, and then all of a sudden just started getting raked. Look at what happened to Amir Khan. Look at what happened to Amir Khan. Amir Khan was doing fantastic, right? Became a champion, beat Zab Judah's ass, looking great, and then he just started getting laid out. Danny Garcia knocked him out. Canelo Alvarez knocked him out. And he just started getting and put to sleep. What do people say about him? Oh, he was pretty good one time. He was pretty good once. Is that what you want for Teofimo Lopez? With all due respect. I'm just checking right here. Somebody tagged me. What was that? Divine Sense right here. Divine Sense. Yeah, watch how y'all act. Teo Tahaney and his father. Yeah, exactly. Dropping the N-bombs and shit, acting like it's all good. Nobody, he said something like, oh, where I'm from, this is how we talk, just deal with it. That's what he said. In a little private interview with somebody else, and somebody pointed it out to him for him using that type of language. He said, well, that where I'm from, that's how we talk, and you just got to get used to it. You got to accept it. I was like, oh shit, okay, well, damn. Well, at the very least, you better back up the type of shit that's coming out of your mouth. And guess what? You couldn't do it. That's why I highlighted this comment. Midnight Rider, he says, was Kambosos underestimated? Even if Teofimo was unprepared, he may have lost anyway. Credit to Kambosos. Absolutely. That's what I've been doing over here for the past 24 hours is give Kambosos nothing but credit. The guy prepared, he was disciplined, he was motivated, he had courage, he had determination, and he practiced what he preached. He deserves to have all those belts, and he deserves to go back to Australia, and if somebody wants to challenge him for those belts, they got to go to his backyard. He has earned that right. And do I think Kambosos was underestimated? Oh, yes. Teofimo Lopez Jr., Sr., that whole team, and most boxing journalists, media outlets, they all had Kambosos getting knocked out in this fight. So, yeah, he was underestimated, and guess what? Kambosos proved them wrong. Yeah, Deanna, you can go. It's on YouTube probably, unless it's been taken down. But after that little encounter with him and Devin Haney and everything, and when he said what he said, dropping the M-bomb and all that, he later on, somebody had interviewed him and say, hey, there are people out here who don't like that type of language or something like that. And he was like, well, that's how we talk and this and that, and people just got to deal with it and something like that. So Guru Grind said in the building, facts. All right, let me continue on with this interview, man. I'm trying to get through this. It's taking me a while because the amount of arrogance that's coming out of this man's mouth is just it's just profound. I mean, lack of better words, it's simply just mind blowing.
He's happy. We all happy. You know why? Because he's the people's champ.
Yeah. No matter how a loss comes, once it's read out and it's official, your son comes back to the corner. What's the first thing you say to him?
It doesn't matter what I'm going to say to him. I think he did a great job tonight.
It doesn't matter what I
was
say to him.
happy. I was motivating him, and
Wow.
and I would go inside and I would say, "Yo, you got that one. You got that one. You got that one." It was like, to me, he won unanimous, but you can put it at 10-2, 9-3, because of the knockdown, and he just slipped. It was like a flash. To me, he
Listen carefully what he's about to say about the knockdown. I'm going to try not to throw my mic. I'm going to try not to. I can't make any guarantees, though.
won unanimous, but you can put it at 10-2, 9-3, because of the knockdown, and he just slipped. It was like a flash knockdown. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way this kid beat us. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna move on to better things, bigger fights. And this is not gonna stay my son. It's
A flash knockdown? A flash knockdown? No, let me refresh your memory, Lopez Sr. Your son threw a jab, and Kambosos got hit by that jab, but was throwing a punch at the same time, countered over that jab with the looping right hand, and punched your son right in the jaw. Okay? He got countered, and he got dropped.
It's gonna stain him because now we can't say we're better than Floyd Mayweather, because now Floyd's gonna say we got that. You know what I'm saying? We got that loss, and listen, it doesn't really matter. He's the people's champ. Everybody's gonna fill out the arenas for him. And that's all I'm concerned about. The people know who won that tonight, and it doesn't matter what the judges said. We won tonight.
And lastly, do you think there was any adjustments he could have made during the fight? It looked like he came out very aggressive. Maybe he could have gotten Kambosos out of there early, and then he got caught and knocked down. What adjustments, looking in hindsight, do you think he could have made?
All right, here he's going to really start saying some dumb shit now about the knockdown. Get ready. I hope you all sitting down. If you're not, please sit down. This is hazardous for your health if you don't sit down when you're about to listen to what this man's about to say about the knockdown.
That was a flash knockdown. Everybody knows that. He just stepped in with the wrong foot and went down. He came back up. He was never hurt. He talked to me. He goes, "Dad, I was never hurt." I took the fight. It was an easy fight for him, and he won every round. To me, he won every round. You can give Kambosos.
To me, he won every round. To me, he won every round. He won every round, and it was a flash knockdown because he stepped forward with the wrong foot. I can't believe this. I can't. I can't. I can't, guys. My brain is just melting. My IQ dropped 50 points. I just give me. I gotta meditate just for a moment. This guy said. Hold up. This guy said it was a flash knockdown because he stepped forward with the wrong foot. And my son won every round. I gotta massage my temples, man. It's getting to the point where it's there's a line between, like, you got delusional, then you got crazy, and then you got straight up sad. Y'all know when you guys go to the corner market, you go to the market, grab some food, whatever, you got somebody sitting there on the corner with the sign, homeless person, please help, God bless, whatever the case is, right? And sometimes out of good faith, because you're a good person, you got a good heart, you throw them a couple bucks or whatever. And you go to that same corner store every day, or at least, several times in the week, and you see that same person, right? So you kind of get to know that person a little bit. Right, as you get to know them, you drop in a couple bucks for them here and there, so you make sure they have something to eat. They start talking to you, and they start saying some wild shit. And when they first start with this wild shit they start talking about, first you're like, all right, I think he's just a little bit delusional. Maybe he's on some shit, all good. It's all love, wish him the best. Then as time goes on, that person gets more comfortable. Every time you come to that store, they get more comfortable. They want to pull you to the side. Oh, I got to tell you this. I got to tell you that, or this, that, and the third. And then it starts to sound crazy. It's beyond a guy who's just on some shit. He might actually be crazy. Maybe this person needs to be pulled off the street. Maybe he can get rehab, right? Then finally, after about 3 or 4 months, when you kind of stray away a little bit and try to avoid running in and having a conversation with that person because, it's kind of like a broken record, and you've been donating, a couple bucks to this guy every week, and you're just like, you know what, man, I'm just trying to go into the store, get what I need to get. This dude is basically just waiting for me, right? And then because you do that, they just start rambling and mumbling and talking to themselves. Then it just becomes sad. It's beyond crazy now. It's sad. Yo, that's Teofimo Lopez Sr., man. First he was delusional, then he sound crazy, and now he just looking straight up sad. Straight up. And I'm not, you guys don't hear me laughing. I'm not chuckling. I'm not saying this as a joke. This is crazy. This is complete just mind-blowing shit that he's saying. My son won every round. He didn't get knocked down. He stepped forward with the wrong foot, and he just fell down. Didn't give any credit to Kambosos for landing a good shot. He's got robbed. His son has been drained. It's all his fault that he kept him at 135. I mean, the list goes on. It's like that dude at the corner store that has this long-ass list on why he's on the corner and he can't find a job and why his life is in shambles. It's the same shit. The list just goes on and on and on. And as boxing fans, we sit here like, oh, we here laughing and pointing fingers. We have a good time, and I'm guilty of that too. I do it. But as I continue to sit here and listen to this man speak, I'm really starting to feel sorry for this dude, man. I'm really starting to feel sorry for him. Anthony Ingram, what's good, man? Thanks for dropping by. Joe Hogan, what's good? But for real,
Flash knockdown. Everybody knows that. He just stepped in with the wrong foot and he went down. He came back up. He was never hurt. He talked to me. He goes, Dad, I was never hurt. I took the fight. It was an easy fight for him. And he won every round. To me, he won every round. You can give Kambosos 2 rounds. Okay, yes. 3 rounds. Okay, yes. Even 4 rounds. But come on, man. It's
it hurts his soul to even say that. You can hear it in his voice. It's like, you want to give him 2, 3, maybe 4. Maybe give him 4 rounds. Shit. It hurts his soul. I understand the love for your son, man. I do. I understand it. I respect it. You, a man who loves his son. Not every young boy growing up to be a young man has a father in their life. I respect that. But bro, this ain't looking good, man. But you know what? You ain't going to change a 50-year-old plus, I don't know what he is, 50 plus at least. You ain't going to change a man his age, his mind. You ain't going to change his mind. I learned that shit a long time ago when my dad wasn't even 50 yet. He ain't no way I'm changing his mind. They know best. Everything they say is the golden word, and you must adhere and abide by my word. And you ain't changing a grown-ass man in his 50s mind. You got to change your own path. It's no point. It's like, I remember trying to talk to my dad when I was in high school. It's like, Dad, man, it's too much. And he's looking at me like I'm crazy. It's like, you think you can do better without me? You think that you can do better without me? I'm the one who brought you here. I brought you into this life. You ain't nothing without me. Sounding like Denzel Washington in Training Day and shit. That's what my dad used to say to me. So I was like, fuck it. I ain't going to even try to say nothing anymore. And what do you got to do? You literally cold turkey. Do an about face and walk away and just do your own thing. He can't stop you. Man, I really hope we can get 100 likes. I really hope we can get 100 likes because I feel like this ain't even just about boxing, but this is some life knowledge right here. This is some life knowledge right here. Christian NWO, what's good, man? Bro, if you haven't seen the fight, I mean, damn. I don't know if you're joking or what, but you need to go watch it if you haven't watched it. Yeah, it was a very good fight. It was very good. Very good fight. Absolutely. Darish Christ. I'm not sure if I said that right. What's good, man? Thanks for dropping by. I'm not sure. You may be new to the channel, man. If you are, I appreciate you. Let's try to get these likes up to 100 before I leave up out of here, man. I'm going to finish this interview and get up out of here. So I'll keep it moving, man. It's been tough to get through this interview. Y'all know this is an 8-minute interview, and I've been going on for an hour. That's how tough it is to get through this interview. It's one of the toughest interviews I've ever had to react to. And I've you guys know me. I've reacted to a lot of different interviews, man. Y'all remember Deontay Wilder Fury, that whole thing? I mean, they were doing interviews all the time, and I was reacting to it. This is one of the toughest ones I've ever had to do. Toughest ones. Nate, what's up? Divine, was it your most viewed video? Which one are you talking about, bro? All right, let's continue. I'm going to try to get through this, man. So make sure you get the likes all the way up before I get up out of here.
Everybody knows.
And all the haters out there, I appreciate you too. I couldn't do it without you.
Down, he came back up. He was never hurt. He talked to me. He goes, Dad, I was never hurt. You know, I took the fight. It was an easy fight for him, and he won every round. To me, he won every round. You know, you can give Kambosos 2 rounds. Okay, yes. 3 rounds. Okay, yes. Even 4 rounds. But come on, man. You know, it's
Nate, the live fight. I don't think it was the most. I think I got 15,000 views. We had like 450 people in here live listening to my commentary, which was awesome. But I don't think it was number one. I think number one was probably Pacquiao Ugas. I think that one I got like 20,000 on that one. Yeah. People be loving my commentary, man. And I appreciate that a lot.
It's what happened to us,
especially during live fights.
Horrible. I could not believe it.
What was the number one lesson you learned tonight?
Number one lesson is don't fuck with the industry. Because the industry
So Radio Raheem, I was giving him shit a bit earlier, but he finally asks a decent question. He said, "What's one lesson you learned?" And you're thinking, that's a boxing question, right? It should be a boxing question. What do you learn from this? Maybe you should do things a bit differently in the ring. Maybe you should have went to the body a little bit better. Maybe we shouldn't have underestimated Kambosos, something like that. Instead, he says, oh man, don't F with the industry, man, because the industry, they have it out for you. They have it out for you. It was eye to eye says it was the Illuminati, man. The CIA, the FBI, don't F with the industry. Guys, this is sad. This is sad.
Even 4 rounds, but come on, man. You know, it's what happened to us was just horrible. I could not believe it.
What was the number one lesson you learned tonight?
Number one lesson is don't fuck with the industry, because the industry could hurt you. You know
Good
what I'm
Lord.
saying? I told him a lot, yo. No, from now on, we're just gonna stay quiet.
I'm doing a lot of
and
deep
not
breathing
mention
during
names,
this interview.
You know, we're just gonna keep on doing what we're doing. My son is still the best in the planet, and I told everybody, you know what I'm saying? We didn't get knocked out. We didn't get hurt. He was never hurt in the fight. You know, we brought it back to this guy, and everybody.
He didn't get hurt. Well, define hurt. Define hurt. You talking about like wobbly, weak legs, hurt, you know, got dropped, hurt? Because to me, he looked hurt. To me, hurt means you are cut, you are bleeding, you are swollen up. That's what hurt means to me. That's hurt. You hurt. You fall off your bicycle, you get hurt. You get into a motorcycle accident or a car accident, you walk away from it, but you still hurt. Your neck all jacked up, your back's jacked up. If anybody's ever been in a car crash, let alone a motorcycle accident like I have, I was in a really bad one about 10 years ago. I walked away from it, but I was hurt. Woo, I was hurt. That's what hurt means to me. So to say your son wasn't hurt when during the post-fight interview, he grabs the mic away from Kambosos to take his shine away with his busted up eye, split open eye, out there leaking all over the mic and shit. Oh, but he wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt. But to me, he was hurt enough to where he couldn't get the job done. He couldn't get the job done at all. And in the 10th round, that was his opportunity, and he couldn't finish it. So, I don't know. Maybe people got different definitions of hurt. Let me know in the chat. What's hurt mean to you? Hurt in boxing. Let's keep it boxing then. Because, Devon, don't compare it to a motorcycle accident. That's different. Okay. So, let's keep it boxing then. What's hurt? Hurt means you got to get dropped. Hurt means that you got to go backwards. Hurt means that you got weak legs. You got wobbled. Is that the only way we define hurt? I don't know, man. If your eye's all swollen, you can't look at your eye. That means your eye's hurt. That means your body's hurting. That's hurt to me. But you know, I guess there's no point of going back and forth about the definition of hurt because you know I guess it's subjective, but. To me, it makes me raise an eyebrow when you say, "Oh, my son was never hurt," when he's leaking all over the mic, looking like Rocky Balboa.
And I told everybody, you know what I'm saying? We didn't get knocked out. We didn't get hurt. He was never hurt in the fight. You know, we brought it back to this guy, and everybody knows. Even the Madison Square Garden was booing this shit, bro. Come on.
See, he mentioned Madison Square Garden again.
Everybody ringside, I think, saw that your son put forward a great effort. I don't think that nobody could even.
It was not no freaking effort, man. We won every round. You know?
Oh goddamn! It can't get any worse. That you can't. And Radio Raheem is trying so hard to be nice. Because when I'm hearing it, I'm thinking he's going to say, hey, you know, everybody at ringside actually scored the fight for Kambosos. Right? And instead he says, oh, everybody ringside thought that your son put on a valiant effort. And this guy can't even say, yeah, my son, man, he did an amazing job in there. He tried his best. No, he said, Nah, man, don't say that. It wasn't an effort. What are you talking about, Radio Raheem? We won the fight. We won every round. That's when you know someone's crazy. When a crazy person tries to convince you that you're crazy because you don't believe in their craziness. Let me say that again. That's when you know someone is crazy. When a crazy person tries to convince you to believe their craziness. I know you guys have met someone like that in your life before. You probably at work with somebody like that every day. Someone just out of their mind, speaking straight outside of their head. And they try to convince you when you question their craziness, they are like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you don't believe my craziness? You must be crazy. And they got you second guessing yourself.
Side, I think, saw that your son put forward a great effort. I don't think that nobody could even.
It was not no freaking effort, man. We won every round, man. Come on. I'll give him probably 2 rounds because of the knockdown, and the flash knockdown. But I know what my son has, and I taught him to win every round by touching every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds he was touching it.
Oh, God.
There's no way in the point system this guy won a freaking round. And that's just the way it is. We don't gotta perfect nothing or nothing.
Oh my God.
He's just been on 135 too long. 135. He's been.
Anybody out there listening? And there's a handful of you that are watching and not hitting the like button, and you're punching air. You're upset. I understand, but look, go watch the fight again. Turn off the commentary. Watch it on mute. And score it. Score it unbiasedly. Don't score it. I scored this fight with no bias whatsoever. I didn't care who won this fight. I don't watch 135 very much. I don't. I watch welterweights, middles, and super middles. That's what I watch. And, of course, the heavyweights. Everybody watches heavyweights. But I don't watch anything below 147. So I had nobody, I didn't care. And I judged the fight as I saw it. And I saw it 114 to 112 for Kambosos. He won by 2 rounds. And my scorecard, including the knockdowns, everything. That's the whole scorecard calculated. So anybody out there, who thinks that Teofimo Lopez won the fight and you're listening and you're not hitting the like button and you're creeping and you're lurking and you're upset and you're punching air, I implore you, go watch the fight on mute and score it with an unbiased mind. It might be tough for you because you're a Teofimo Lopez fan, but if I had to do it for Wilder when I'm a Wilder fan and I had to go and watch the fight and critique it, and I have to, say, shit, man, Wilder lost this round, that round, whatever it may be, then it is what it is. So you gotta practice that same unbiased mindset. And score it objectively. There's just no way that Teofimo Lopez won this fight. There's just no way. Because Teofimo Lopez was so fixated on landing big power shots. That was his game plan. Land a big right hand, if I can get a big left hook in there and follow it up with the right hand, whatever it may be. But it was 2 punches basically. Jab right hand, left hook right hand. That was him. That was Teofimo. Jab right hand, left hook right hand. That's what he was doing all night, loading up. And every time Kambosos either blocked it, tied him up, or countered, he was throwing 4, landing 4 to Teofimo's 1 or 2. Pretty much the whole fight. And that is me saying that. I'm saying that, and I still gave Lopez, including the knockdown, I guess, whatever it was, I can't remember. The scorecard's over there on the desk. But it was like 4 rounds. I still ended up giving Lopez 4 rounds plus the knockdown. And that was me being nice. There were a couple rounds where I was like, man, that's a close round. But I gave Lopez the benefit of the doubt. But there's just no way. There's just no way that Teofimo Lopez won this fight on my scorecard, watching it from an unbiased lens, someone who doesn't really watch the lightweight division. I had no dog in the fight. I didn't even bet on this fight. I didn't even bet on it, and I regret it now. I should have betted on Kambosos, but it is what it is. I didn't bet, had no investment, but I knew it was a big fight. Obviously, I know who Teofimo Lopez is, and so I tuned in and I gave live commentary and a live scorecard, and I had it 114, 112. Y'all need to accept defeat. Don't be like the man I have this picture up here on the screen. Don't be like him. Don't be like Lopez Sr. talking all this crazy shit. All the people lurking, watching, not hitting the like button, trying to hate. You can hate because, my channel wouldn't be where it is without the haters. So keep that in mind. Every time you tune in, you helping the channel grow. So it's all good. But what I would suggest is don't be like this guy up here on the screen, Lopez Sr. Don't be that guy. Don't do that. As a matter of fact, if you love Teofimo Lopez Jr. as much as you think you do, or you do, hit him up on IG and tell him, yo, you need to leave your pops, man. It ain't looking good for you, bro. It's not good for you.
There for 8 years. I mean, since 2016 when he fought in the Olympics. So, it's time for us to move up so he could be stronger and dead all these people, because from now on he's gonna knock everybody out.
Well, we look forward to seeing your son in the ring again, doing what you guys do. A great performance by Lopez tonight, and we can't wait to see both of you in the ring again doing your thing. Radio Raheem with Teofimo Lopez Sr.
Oh, man, we finally got through the interview. Man, that was tough. So if y'all joined late, rewind the tape, go back, man. I gave a lot of commentary on this interview that Lopez Sr. gave 1 Seconds Out, a.k.a. Radio Raheem. It was a challenging reaction video to do based off of the amount of arrogance that was coming out of Lopez Sr.'s mouth. And it went from really bad to extremely bad to just straight up ugly. And in other words, it was delusional, crazy to straight up sad. That's how the interview went. And we have to go back and rewind it. I see my man Platboy in here with the super chat. I appreciate you, Platboy. By the way, man, I got your message on Telegram. Yeah, I just haven't had a chance to reply yet. But yes, I do want to interview that guy that you said that you hit up. I want to set it up, have him come on the show. Looking forward to that. So I'm gonna reply to you very soon, Platboy, man. But I appreciate the super chat and everyone else who came in tonight to hit that like button and join the commentary. I want to say something real quick before I head up out of here. I didn't expect this reaction. I really, really didn't. I didn't expect Lopez Sr. to act like this, or even Lopez Jr. I knew that if they lost, I would imagine they would be disappointed. And fighters say stuff all the time when they lose fights. Just like 30 minutes after this fight ended, we had another fight the same night between Figueroa and Fulton, right? And Figueroa pulled the same shit. Figueroa out there talking about I was robbed and I won the fight and this, that, and whatever. Fighters do this, right? Fighters do this. Paulo Malignaggi used to go on epic rants, calling the whole, saying corruption this and corruption that. And sometimes he was right and sometimes he wasn't. So I'm not upset about fighters, being disappointed that they lost the fight. But the one thing that I can't tolerate is two things. Number one, you don't grab the mic from the man who just won the fight and try to take his shine. This is a gentleman's sport. It should be a gentleman's sport. You just don't do that. You take the mic, and when you take the mic, it's not to congratulate or to give respect. It's actually to put down and ridicule the decision and say that you won the fight 10-2. It wasn't a close fight. Make excuses about being weight drained, and et cetera, et cetera. And anybody out there wondering about the weight draining and whether that's a valid excuse or not, I made the reference this morning when I went live. And I said, when Bud Crawford beat Benavidez, nobody wanted to give Bud Crawford that credit because they said Benavidez was shot in the leg and he didn't have his leg right or whatever. And to quote the sensei, Stormy B-Man, he said, well, why the hell did he get in the ring then? If his leg wasn't right, why the hell did he get in the ring? Nobody forces these fighters to get in the ring. They make that decision. And so when it comes to Lopez Jr., you've been at 135 for a while. I'm not disputing the fact that it's been difficult for you to make the weight, but you chose to fight Kambosos at 135 because you thought it would be a sure victory, that you'll get another highlight reel so you could do another backflip so you can show off. And guess what? If you would have knocked out Kambosos, then the conversation of 135 wouldn't even spewed out of your mouth. You would have been talking like you're going to try to fight Devin Haney. But you lost. You lost. And now Devin Haney's fighting this upcoming weekend against Jojo Diaz. And if he beats him, which I think he will, and you're going to sneak up to 140, then guess what? You ducked Devin Haney. I don't give a shit if you can't make 135 no more. You shouldn't have been talking all that shit to Devin Haney and his dad, talking about we're going to fight this, that, and whatever, and dropping M-bombs everywhere, and then telling people to just get over it, quote unquote, because that's how you talk. So you duck them if you go to 140. Period. You duck them. So that's that. But I don't want to hear none of this shit about I was weight drains because you chose to get into the ring. You chose that. Nobody forced you. You chose it, and you chose it because you thought it was going to be an easy fight. And guess what? You found yourself in deep waters. So that's it. Kambosos came in. Kambosos came in more determined, more disciplined. That's probably that word should be in capital letters, underline, quotation marks right there. He came in more disciplined. Discipline won this fight. Discipline won this fight. That's it. That's it in a nutshell right there. If there's one word to explain victory, it's that. Kambosos was more disciplined. So accept it as a man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like I said, I don't get, but I mean, in the heat of battle, when the battle's over, you know, you feel like maybe you thought you did a little bit more, you know, your adrenaline's still pumping. You take the mic and say, man, I thought I did better. And, you know, I thought it was a close fight. And I don't got a problem with that. I don't got any problem with that. That shit happens all the time. Fighters say this stuff all the time. But when you come out and say it wasn't close, it was 10-2, this is a robbery, and I was weight drained, and this and that, and to add insult to injury, you're the one making tweets and Instagram posts telling Deontay Wilder to stop whining and making excuses, but then you make a plethora amount of excuses right after the fight. So not only are you now being displayed as a ducker, not only are you being a person displayed as being delusional, not only are you being a person that has continued to let your father dictate how your career goes. It takes a man to step away from their father and be their own man. But the cherry on top is not only all of those things that I just mentioned, but now you're also a hypocrite. Now you're a hypocrite too. So, look, I feel like I've beaten this topic down into the ground. Now there's a lot of questions in regards to Devin Haney and what's going to happen with that now. Devin Haney's already given his comments about the fight. Devin Haney must have been laughing his ass off when Lopez got dropped in that first round. He must have been laughing his ass off. He must have been laughing so hard. And then, when Kambosos was doing the work that he was doing, he was probably just sitting there just shaking his head the whole time like, yep. If Kambosos is going to do this to him, what do you think I was going to do to him? It's all crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Remember what I said this morning when I went live? What goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. The boxing guys don't play. They don't pity fools. Boxing guys don't pity fools, man. Act like a fool, you get dealt with. Eye to eye. You should always praise the victor and give them their flowers. That's it, man. That's it. Even if you thought you won the fight, you don't disrespect the man and his shine like that, man. This guy flew from Australia, flew to your backyard in New York. You made the man wait for 10 months to actually get in the ring. The least you can do is give respect for the training, the discipline, and bringing in your courage and your country and all that. That's the least you can do. Do that first, then you can talk about the decision and perhaps you don't like the way that it went. But you don't grab the mic like that and basically disrespecting him, his country. That's basically what he did. Without saying the words, that's what he did, though. When you take the man's shine like that and you've got 1,000 Australian supporters in the crowd, ecstatic for the victory that they just witnessed from their own countrymen, not to mention the Greeks that were probably in attendance as well. When you go in and grab the mic like that, you disrespect all of them. You disrespect the fact that you made this man wait and he came over into your backyard. No, that's a no-go for me. That's a negative. Nicholas Long was good, man. Wasn't close at all. Theo got schooled, I thought. Yeah. And I was saying earlier, people that are saying like, hey, Teofimo Lopez, he won the fight, or let me check the poll real quick. How many people voted for a draw? 5% out of 300 votes. 300 votes. And 5% said they had it a draw. 4% said they had Lopez winning. So for that 9% right there who voted that way in this poll, I guess you guys just think that Kambosos came in there as a wild man, landed one big lucky shot, but more or less wasn't on the caliber of Teofimo Lopez, and so ultimately you think that he lost the fight. Well, I think that you need to revisit your knowledge on the sport of boxing. That's all I got to say about that. You need to go on YouTube and search, or go on Google and search how to score a fight. That's the beautiful thing about Google nowadays. You can Google anything. And while you're at it, Google how to fry an egg, because that's about your intelligence status right there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm being mean now. I apologize, man. I got this little mean streak in me. But this type of stuff, man. This type of stuff. It just gets under my skin. Ron Miller, what's good, man? He says, I hate to say this for any young champion, but the way Teofimo was acting or has been acting, his loss is good for him both and boxing in general. Yeah. Yeah, but you got to be humbled, though. That's the thing. You still got to be humbled. And I don't know if he was humbled because he's in denial. You can't be humbled if you're in denial. Deanna Branch, he's messing his kid's life up. Like, seriously. And I have a lot of love in my heart, man, and I have the utmost respect. Let me drill this home one more time. I have the utmost respect for any father who dedicates his life to his son and in his son's life to help make sure that as he grows up into a young man, to make sure that he becomes a young man and becomes a man, and all that, and being that rock, that provider. I got so much respect for that because a lot of boys and boys becoming young men, they don't have that. So you got to give respect where respect is due. However, comma, you got to let your kids go, man. And you got to be able to step away. You got to be tough sometimes. It's tough love, man. And it's the hardest thing to do when it's family. It's the hardest thing to do when it's family. It wasn't easy for me to step away from my dad. But, I knew it was something that I had to do. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be where I was at today. My dad got me to a point, and without him, I wouldn't have got to that point. But once I reached that point, it was I had to do my due diligence. Let's just say that. I had to do my part to go from point A to B, to then to point B to point C. And my dad couldn't take me to point C. I had to do it by myself. And that's just what it is. And this is a life lesson right here. And sometimes that's what it takes. And if I really look back at the moment of when I really made the decision in my head, it was like, all right, this is like something that I got to do now. I got to step away from my dad now. If I really pinpoint one particular time, and this is some like exclusive shit that I'm about to tell you guys right here. Exclusive shit. Exclusive. I probably should save this for members only. But I'm going to go ahead and say it because I'm on the topic. The moment I knew that I had to step away from my dad, when I was like, okay, now he is trying to not be an influence in my life. He's trying to control my life. And don't get it twisted with this. Oh, I love my son. My son's the greatest. My son, he wasn't hurt. That's just that just all that does is muddy the water, man. All that is a mirage. That's called blind love sometimes, It's like he loves his son, but he's blinded. My dad used to do the same shit all the time. But the moment I knew where it was no longer just influence, it was control. Was one day I came home from school and I brought a group of friends from my basketball team over. And, we were playing basketball at my house. I had a hoop up at my house. We're playing basketball and shit. And I think it was like on a Friday or something like that. And we go in the crib. We chilling, drinking, drinking like, we like got some lemonade. And it's a hot summer day. And obviously, a lot of my friends were people of color, right? Black people and some Hispanic dudes on my team too. My dad comes in and sees us all hanging out and whatever. And he just starts talking this dumb shit. Like he kept using the words like these people. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? These people? What does that mean? And saying like, what are these people doing here? Type of shit. Then I knew that this is on a whole different level. And I thought, all right, I can't be a part of this. And long story short, I left with my friends. They were upset. I was upset. But that's the moment I knew that it's done. Right now, years later, my dad, he had apologized for all of that. But the thing is that when people are thinking to themselves, well, what does that have to do with Teofimo Lopez? Like, Teofimo Lopez didn't show any racist tendencies or anything like that. Well, here's the thing. His son is out there being disrespectful, dropping the N-word everywhere, and they tell people, oh, just deal with it. And so the dad is feeding into that. His dad is the genesis of Teofimo Lopez Jr. You understand what I'm saying? He's the beginning. It starts from the dad. You got to be able to pull yourself away. And all of my friends told me back then, yo, like, we don't got no issue with you, man. We know who you are. We respect you as a person. We know what you stand for. But you can't be around that shit, man. And quite honestly, we can't be around you if you know what I'm saying, if your dad's going to be like that. So you got to make a tough decision. And that's just that, like I said, that's like the catalyst. But there's so many other shit that was like affected me personally on the way he treated me that I knew I had to step away. Now you fast forward, whatever it is, man, 20 years later, and my dad's just he's a whole different person. Why? And check this. Why? Because my dad's a broken down man now. He's broken down. His body's broken down. He's feeble. He's diabetic. He's got all these other health issues. He's trying to get by. His wife left him about 5 years ago. And so so now life is precious. Now he looks back at all the dumb shit that he did and said that was dumb. And now it's all about being great, trying to be grateful and gracious. And I want to rekindle my relationship with my kids. And, and see, that's the thing, right? That's the irony of all this shit. Don't be that person. Don't do that. And if it wasn't, and it's not about, I could have easily just never spoken to my dad ever again. And I would have every right to do so if I so choose. But I'm a Pisces, man. I got a lot of love in my heart. People make mistakes. People live the wrong life. They're around the wrong people. Hatred a lot of times is taught, and it can be untaught, in my opinion. Nobody's born evil. Nobody's born evil. Well, I'll take that back. Some people are born evil. Like Hitler. His ass was born evil. But these type of people, Hitler, Stalin, Mao, and all that, there are certain individuals, guys who become serial killers and shit like that. Those people are born evil. But you're not. But even then, a lot of times there's an influence along the way. It's actually very rare when a person is all of a sudden like they're born and then there's no influence and they just like become an evil person or a racist person or whatever it may be. There's different like strands of evil, right? It's very rare. That's like the devil himself placing somebody like that on earth for that particular reason. But a lot of times these people have some type of influence from childhood that develops and manifests and gets worse over time. You know those two gentlemen that shot the two guys that just got convicted, Ahmaud Arbery. Those two gentlemen right now. Yeah. They brought up and within the wrong mindset of hate. And guess what? They're regretting that shit now. They're regretting it now. They're sorry now. They're crying now. They wish they can go back in time now. But this is exactly why you guys have to take these type of topics seriously. And if you have people that are in your life, in your circle, family, friends, whatever, that you may think are going down the wrong path, bring them to light. You know what I mean? Bring them to the light. Bring them to the light. So that's all I want to say about that, and I can go even deeper if I wanted to. But there comes a point in time where people have to make tough decisions. And sometimes it can be a partnership. I'm talking about like, an intimate relationship. Boyfriend, girlfriend, dating, husband, wife. It's hard when you see your partner go down a path that you just can't follow. And more times than not, you plead with them to change. You beg them to change. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. You got to step away. And guess what happens? Years down the road. Y'all been there. Y'all been there. Years down the road, what happens? They call you up. They text you. I made a mistake. I apologize. Well, it's too late. I forgive you because I'm a forgiving person and I got love in my heart, but it's too late. So that's what we have to think about, man. Every day we walk out that door to go to work, we go to church, we go to see our friends, we go see our family, we go to the movie theater, whatever it is. Every day we walk out that door. If you got any hate in your heart, don't carry around, man. That shit's extra baggage, man. I'm telling you. And it will fester. It will fester, man. And in the case of Teofimo Lopez Jr., he's in a position where I don't think he's dumb. I think that he's fixated and he's mesmerized, maybe some type of like hypnosis. He's blinded and drunk off the love of his father and his family, that it makes it difficult for him to look through and see through the murky water. But I think he's deep down in his soul, like he's aware of it, right? But if he doesn't make and I'm dead ass serious, if he doesn't make a tough decision soon, he will end up like someone like Amir Khan, somebody who was very good at one time, and that's where the story ends. And I hate to see talent wasted like that. I know a guy personally that's got all the talent in the world who started boxing right now. A guy I know personally, been boxing. I've seen him in the gym sparred him a few times. Very good, a lot of talent. Could have done really good things. Can't put the drink down, man. Can't stop drinking. Can't stop partying. Can't stop chasing these girls around here, right? Can't keep his pants on. And just wasting his talent. And I tell him all the time, you're wasting your talent, man. And you know what they tell me, a lot of these people, man? It's not just him. I met a lot of people like this in my life. Talent, but wasting it. And you know their response. They all have the same response. They say, I know. I know I'm wasting it. You're right. I know. But I just can't stop. That's when the strong survive. Forget about a boxing match, 12 rounds. You know, people who overcome adversity, these guys who, get cancer and fight cancer, beat cancer, overcome and pull off miracles. That's real battles right there. That's life and death type shit. But you got to have the mental fortitude. It's like this guy, the running back for the Arizona Cardinals, man, Connor. Got cancer, some type of like blood or heart cancer or something in college. Had a beat cancer, still made it to the NFL. And now he's the best running back in the league right now. That's real championship type stuff right there. Real champion shit right there. I don't mean to get all spiritual on you guys, man. So, I see a lot of people slowly dropping out of the chat, man. But I have to bring in that dose, the harsh dose of reality in sometimes. I can come up here, I rant, I rave, I get all heated, and I got heated for an hour plus on this interview that Teofimo Lopez Sr. gave, and I was pulling my hair out, and I gave my commentary, I gave my reaction. But I wanted to punctuate something with some real shit here at the end because it's relevant. This is more than just boxing. This is more than just a young man who has a lot of talent letting his father control his life. Not even just his career path in boxing, but his life. This is deeper than that. And all I can do is pass on this advice. I can't tell Teofimo Lopez Jr. what to do. He's going to do what he does, man. Maybe somebody on his team listens to this live stream. I hope. And I hope he figures it out. But for my subscribers, my supporters, that's what matters to me. Because you guys are like a family away from family, a home away from home. And I want to give this advice to you guys. And when I say at the end of all my lives, stay strong, stay positive, I mean those words wholeheartedly. Because love and positivity will lead you to the promised land. And what you think the promised land might be is up to you. But regardless, love and positivity will lead you to the promised land. And I know it's tough to love sometimes. It's real tough. But that's what it is, man. I appreciate everybody dropping in tonight, man. I went live 2 times in one day. I don't do that very often. So you guys got a little bit lucky, man. And it's been a pleasure. Make sure that you hit that like button before you leave. Y'all go ahead and lay your head down on your pillows, get some rest. We got a long week ahead of us to get some work in. We got to get that work in. We got to make that money. Holiday season around the corner. I know you guys got your big shopping list ready. You got to buy those Christmas presents. And if you guys got kids, you know what time it is. And my daughter been driving me insane. I still got to put up my damn Christmas tree. If I don't do that in the next couple of days, I think my daughter's going to disown me. But real talk though, man, get some rest, man, and put your head down on that pillow and get out there, get that grind going, and spend all the precious moments with your loved ones, your family, your friends. It's so important. Every moment matters. Every moment is a memory, and memories last a lifetime. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm out.